Hey, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and today we're talking about snow and wind. That is going to be your big headlines today, but we also have some rain and thunderstorms in the mix here. Let's start with that high wind and snow, mainly across the Mississippi Valley and then out to the Midwest, but we're kind of even getting into the Northeast with some of that higher snowfall totals, some blizzard warnings out there as well. Winter storm warnings are in effect, with low visibility going to be one of the biggest hazards, okay? So the snowfall totals may not look too impressive here, but if it's blowing across the road, it's going to reduce your visibility, and that's gonna cause some issues not only today, but also tomorrow and into early Friday. Now, taking a look at your thunderstorms down in Texas and then moving into Louisiana, I'll have a look at the flood risk that we are expecting from now and even through the weekend. But first, let's talk about that Cyber Monday deal. I know it's Wednesday and we still have a Cyber Monday deal going. Yes, due to high demand and so much interest in this, it's a great deal here. We have 15% off, 15% off new annual plans. It is the biggest sale of the year. So if you're interested in hail trace maps, this is the time to call. Call 855-334-HAIL or click the link in the bio from the platform that you are watching this forecast on. Okay, speaking of, let's get to the forecast here. You can see that we've got some snow moving across portions of the Midwest and even into the Northeast here. This has been the big story over the last few days, but we even have some rain farther down to the south, moving from Texas into Louisiana. Not watching for any big severe risks here, but it's dropped a little bit of rainfall totals. Not terribly impressive, but a little bit of rain there. We also have all of those snow showers across the Midwest into, even the northern plains. You know, we've got the northern plains, the Midwest, and then into the Northeast here. Some of us seeing some more impressive snowfall totals than others, especially from that lake effect snow. You can get a squall line popping up there, giving us a few more inches in some localized areas. Now moving on to what we're going to see today. Yes, it's still cold out there. Some people are seeing well below average temperatures. Yesterday, we saw some warmer air move into the plains. And then today, oh wait, let's see, can we get back there? And maybe, my clicker may be on the fritz. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, so yesterday, it looks like our temperatures from yesterday, our below average, above average temperatures are not popping up yesterday, but hey, we'll get to it today. Today, where's that cold air? Right along the East Coast, okay? We're still seeing some above average temperatures for a good portion of the U.S. through the central and western portion of the U.S. But you head farther out to the east, temperatures are still way below average, and then up into North Dakota, Montana, and even portions of Minnesota, temperatures are also below average up there. Okay, there's that cold front bringing us all of those colder temperatures up to the north. We also have a front moving through Oklahoma today, pushing all of that rain from the central to the eastern portion of the state, pushing also that rain out into Louisiana and into Arkansas. Okay, so we've got a warm front working up from the south to the north, and then that cold front pushing all of that to the east. So we've got a lot going on right in this area today. And then if you go up to the north, that's where all of your snow is. All of that snow continuing to fall, not only today, but also through tomorrow, creating blizzard conditions, winter storm warning conditions as well. And here are your current alerts. Actually, speaking of that, this tan color right here, that is going to be your wind advisory for wind gusts up to 55 miles an hour. Pretty gusty, not anything you want to get on the roofs for. We've also got winter storm advisories and warnings in effect as well. You could see up to 9 inches of snow in some of these places, but I'm less worried about those snowfall totals and more worried about snow blowing across the roads, reducing visibility. That's going to be one of the biggest things that we have going on, is that visibility on the roadways. We've even seen potential whiteout conditions. I don't know if you can see that on the bottom of your screen, but that red warning here, highlighted in red in West Virginia. It's a small area, but it is an area to to keep your eye on, to be very aware of, because it could cause, the snow squall right in here could cause whiteout conditions, which means that you can't see a quarter of a mile in front of you, maybe even less than that. So there's snow blowing across the road, you can't see where you're going, you can't see where the road is. Pretty scary conditions, but just make sure that you know those conditions before you hit the roadways today, maybe heading back from work or maybe even heading out for errands. You could get into one of those squall lines there. Okay, what are we watching for? There's your snow. Let's go to the rain now. Texas into Louisiana, getting some of that rain today. Rainfall totals not terribly impressive here. They will be impressive over the weekend. Still pretty dry out to the west, gonna stay that way for a while. Maybe some snow early into the weekend, late this week, and then we're gonna stay dry farther down to the southwest. Temperatures right now are sitting anywhere from the 20s to the 50s. Kind of depends on where you live across the U.S. We've got 28 up in Boise, but then 41 in Billings, 59 here in Oklahoma City. A little bit more mild today than it was yesterday. It's cold up in Minneapolis at 22. And who's the warmest today? Not Florida, 74 in Houston. 74 is your current temperature out in Houston. It's pretty toasty for the early portion of December. All right, let's take a look at what's to expect over the next 24 hours. I mentioned all of those alerts in effect for winter storm, winter weather advisories. You can see all of that snow that we are going to get anywhere from Minnesota all the way through Michigan and then into Pennsylvania and New York. That is where we're watching for the greatest snowfall totals. Michigan, I think, especially along the west coast there, that's going to see some pretty good snowfall totals as these snow squall lines come off of the lakes, off the Great Lakes. It's going to carry a lot of moisture with it. Very similar for portions of northern Pennsylvania. Also seeing some probably big snowflakes here because you're going to get a ton of moisture off of the lake, and then you're going to get some really good snowfall totals just as these snow squall lines come off the lake. So something to be watching for today. Here's your snowfall totals. Again, it's not necessarily about the totals, but about that wind blowing, the snow blowing across the roadways. Anywhere from 1 to 3 for a good portion of those areas highlighted in white and gray. 2 to 6 inches, maybe even up to 9 inches out in Michigan. And then you could every now and then see some locally higher amounts highlighted there in purple. But that's not the only area of snow that we're watching for. If you look back to the west, as we get into the end of this week and early into the weekend, even into early next week, you will start to see more snowfall totals or snowfall chances farther out to the west and then draping across the northern portion of the U.S. Some models, not all of them, but some models even want to bring snow down to places like Denver, Colorado, and Kansas. So we'll have to watch and see how that plays out over the next few days. We'll have more information as we get closer to that event. Taking a look at your future radar for rain. Now we're headed down to the south into Texas and Louisiana. You are going to see better chances for showers and storms today and tomorrow into Louisiana. I'll show you your rainfall totals here in just a minute. These will most likely be non-severe. Not looking for severe weather here. Strike of lightning, rumble of thunder, definitely possible. Localized flooding is not a high likelihood right now. However, we will see that risk increase as we head into Saturday and Sunday. So again, the biggest hazards here will be lightning and thunder. You know the drill here. When it roars, go indoors. And then I'm gonna bring in another rhyme for the weekend. When in doubt, take another route. Don't drive through the flooded waters, okay? It's gonna be right through Louisiana, there'll be a level 2 risk for flooding, and I'll show that to you here in just a minute. But I told you about those rainfall totals. Let's take a look at that. Not terribly impressive today and tomorrow. Most of those showers and storms hug that Texas-Louisiana state line. We retreat back down into Texas by Friday, but then back into Louisiana as we head into Saturday and Sunday. There's your flood risk. Level 2 flood risk covers almost the entirety of the state. So while that tornado, hail, and wind risk is very, very low, if existent at all, we like to say low to no risk here, that flooding risk will be the forecast. So Facebook and YouTube. Are we good now? All righty. Facebook, YouTube. Let's see, we've got LinkedIn and Twitter as well. We had a little audio issue, but hey, we're back. We're going to pick up right where we left off. Level 2 risk for flooding out in Louisiana on Sunday. That does include southern Arkansas as well, and even portions of western Mississippi. All right, taking a look at your future temperatures, we are in the 40s this afternoon out in Kansas City. Pretty cool, chilly out there. You can see exactly where we're focusing all of that colder air moving in from Canada down into the U.S., especially through the northern portion of the U.S. This is going to wrap around into the Midwest and then out to the Northeast as well. Meanwhile, we're staying a little bit warmer in portions to the west and out to the south. We had one question about snow down in Alabama. Actually, Alabama is going to get on the colder side, especially on the northern side of the state, where temperatures only reach up to the 30s on Thursday. So yeah, we are going to see some colder temperatures. Look at that, we hit below freezing in Birmingham by Friday morning. Friday afternoon, temperatures are back into the 40s and 50s here in Oklahoma, so a little bit cooler than what we're feeling today. By the weekend, we're warming up into the 50s and 60s, very mild and comfortable through the plains, and then out to the south and east on Saturday. But remember, Saturday is whenever we could see some pretty cold temperatures out to the north and east, and then all of that rain further down to the south. We're going to see an influx of moisture into Louisiana. All righty, moving on here, a little bit cooler as we head into the early portion of next week. As we head into December, so we're looking into the later portion of next week right now, we're watching for above average conditions, but not by much, okay? So how you read this map here is your chance for warmer than average temperatures is going to be on the low to medium side up to the north into places like Montana, South and North Dakota, and then about average for the rest of the U.S. Our average for this time of the year is in the 50s here in Oklahoma City, 40s in Denver, and 40s for your high in Chicago. What about that extended rain outlook? Well, as we head into the middle of December, we're still looking to stay with a pretty active pattern out on the East Coast, getting either that rain or snow, wet weather in some fashion, and then dry farther out to the west. Okay, starting today, Justin just set up for the Roofing Process Conference. So he's out at this booth. He's been having a lot of fun out in Florida. They're in Marco Island, Florida at the JW Marriott, and he actually has a fun giveaway. So if you or anyone from your company is at this conference, we have a raffle at the table for a whiskey bottle giveaway. Pretty good giveaway here. Head over there, talk to Justin, talk about our Cyber Monday deal, and enter, of course, into the whiskey bottle giveaway. Okay, we will have another forecast tomorrow at noon, but in the meantime, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, LinkedIn, you name it, we're on there. And if you're interested in that Cyber Monday deal, the best deal of the year, give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com or head over to our website, hailtrace.com. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon, and thanks for dealing with our technical difficulties. We had a brief pause in there, but of course we will be back tomorrow better than ever. We'll see you back here, same time, same place.